Yeah, lots of downloads. I guess it's just more apparent on 3D living with whoever, like roommates or family or your loved ones, wife and kids in that environment, right? So I guess I'm in a special opportunity to kind of speak in my own unique domain of expression and yeah, certain desires, right? At least here, it's like expressing and really connecting into clear desires, and then whether it's physical or emotional, spiritual, having it and then gets exhausted again. So, and that's the thing. It's like not judging it because a lot of it is spiritual guidance, and my spiritual guides communicating through even service to clients, service to in my own dreams, even in 3D like tutoring or mentoring. And they kind of work very magically, just opening again on the last call, I believe we're talking about just opening the capacity, tuning into that magic. And it's like the radar, the attention becomes so automatic at this point, and the biggest signal is how you feel, even in thinking, like the dots, the awareness of the dots, and seeing that if the dot bubble is a cause of or after effect of an old program. So lots of old programs being released structurally and crystallizing. So maybe even some of you have been in more rest, more sleep, more rejuvenation, maybe some light weaving, light language, on and off, but just pockets of information, right? Pockets of information. And that's a good thing in a way because of just the expansion of data, but the data it's not really new. It's just kind of more in your face. It's almost in the baseline, whether that's, like Gemini or AI or data messaging, instant messaging, and having like video calls like from here to China or here to Australia. So it's smoothing out, kind of seeing, getting into some intuitions with current tech in a way, not in a big deep dive, but lots of convergence points, astral field, and is connecting to nature and other local communities and thought forms there. And yeah, definitely just a merger of certain structures is really, I mean, just the evidence of having this new structure, crystalline structure of, you maybe even telepathy clears or psychic abilities. And then we're all gifted with them. It's just our openness to using them, training with them. Some you could take like a workshop, right? And then you don't use it, or you don't have the community or the support or the nourishment. So you just fall back into old beliefs and patterns. And yeah, you don't have to do that. There's a lot of support, whether it's online or locally. And even, when I was living in Las Vegas, did a lot of meetup groups through just Meetup, the app, where it was free to build a group. Now I think you have to subscribe and stuff, but you could use like Nextdoor. So there's nothing wrong with it. Again, it's just like, even if you're into kind of the spontaneous flow of meeting someone in a coffee shop or a grocery store, there's nothing wrong with. I think I'm sure there's like other apps, and like if you're in Europe, it's like couch surfing or sharing people's houses or farms. But that's not the point, right? It's like if that's a desire, it's a connection to what your soul is actually expressing, then go ahead, keep on going that direction. And that's the cool thing too. It's like in a way there are certain like variations of like what the soul wants to be expressed or what direction wants to be given by the higher self. Lessons that may not be fully learned or just certain interests, whether it's a sport. I wasn't even into the tennis field, right? And just like watching this player like Sinner and Carlos forgot his last name, but just like the new generation of just for example sports stars, finals, a lot of these things. It's just a new mindset, a new fresh faces. So you don't even have to be on the radar of just like being a fan every day, looking at highlights or connecting with like sports betting or something. But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting to see these changes all across the board with the faces, with certain dynamics with marketing and certain just the energy and play style. Like they're just this guy Sinner. It's like it was brutal just to see him uh, lose like that. He had like 3 match points, I believe. So he could have won the game, for example, but it was like very dramatic and strung out. And it's just like, ooh, the juiciness of just entertainment of these games, like the Pacers and the game winner of Tyrese making that game winner. So it's like, yeah, there's something about that. We do enjoy that, and you could say that, oh, it's all Maya, it's all illusion. Like we're creating that, it's sucking into the matrix. But there's something human about that of whether it's luck or purely your thought, your imagination creating that, or your soul attractions, aversions, and having certain gambling or your attention span in a certain way. And I think what I've seen too is just like releasing any judgment, whether it's certain spiritual videos or certain like attractions on certain things, the the body, etc., or certain foods. And yeah, there's always some value in looking underneath. And even that, you may still be attracted to these things like sports or food, fashion. So yeah, on we go. It's like just infinite expansion, different patterns, maybe different outlook, different perspective, different degrees of who comes into your life and what you're willing to drop off. And the energy of just spheres, even if you look at thoughts coming, if you're into the chakra system, looking at different points of view, whether it's a parallel life or a connection to ancestry. It's like it could be so simple as that, as you could have impressions or memories, releasing it with just the spaciousness and awareness of that, and holding space, releasing it with silence, and not attempting to judge yourself or judge a parallel life or judge another person's process. So context is key, and just the more you experience it, the more I experience this in my own field. It's just I think the refined perception of a lot of these memories or certain perspectives or certain edges of experiencing, edges of perception that gets, I wouldn't want to say released, but release is an accurate word. But it's more of like how the neutral stillness of the perception, but it is still energy. It's like even if you kind of judge it slightly, like, oh, this is a bad thought, or this is an impression of a parallel life, or this is a race thing, an Asian thing, a white thing, American thing, a Australian thing, African thing, like all these little, the visualization becomes like very like sticky and glue based, but really in doing something you like to do, whether it's listening to a certain music to connect to these energies or release them, getting deeper into parallel lives, or moving the body, just like moving the body everywhere, breathing. If you have a car, if you're going on a train or a bus, or walking, sprinting, seeing contrast points with that. And yeah, a lot of suffering. Had a interesting talk. My friend realized a lot of it, his suffering was just the belief of time, of like having deadlines and creating these aspects of money goals, or I guess like quantitative goals, whether it's like reps or certain books to read or certain people to connect with. And yeah, I mean, again, this is pretty big in like self development, right? So it's more of a avenue where you can still do these things for performance or just beliefs of like self enhancement and testing to see if it's true in your experience, like going to the gym or going to a training facility, starting a martial art, starting singing classes. It's like all these are so possible, but you can get bombarded by like, oh, you should be doing this. Oh, I want to do this if I had the money here, or if I had the time here, or if I had the freedom here. And the simplicity of it is like what is actually most resonant, like what does your body really want to do. And Mashar goes into like follow your excitement, follow your highest joy, which is very true and valuable at any point, and even if the body seems to be dreaming. So just the value of mixing it up, because a lot of it we think it's our mental body. It's like association from our parents or teachers or society or friends, but really it's like your connection to yourself, your older soul, your higher self is here in the field here. It's like you can think of it as shapes, you can think of it as frequency and sounds and colors, that there's that deeper voice connection. And that the belief of like treachery, that they could betray you, is from the ego thought system. And that connection of your true self, your true connection to your spiritual guides, your true connection to yourself in multi dimensions, and what could be considered negative or scary or bad or evil in one parallel life is just contextually different in this life. So it's like seeing it with unbiased, and you don't have to say it like clarity, because clarity could be a sense of judgment too, but clearing out these perspectives so the energy is expansive, or it's truer to your own being in this point as service to the all. And service to the all could also just mean you breathing and being in your alignment, being in joy, or it could be surfacing. Um, and you don't really need a direct definition. It's really your own soul's growth. And everyone has their own process and their own direct living to what's relevant to them and their personality and their human. So another common question is like, what is my purpose? Why am I here? I know there's more than the five senses. I know I'm more than human or more than awareness, whatever it is. But yeah, I do, like, even in a math sense or like sacred geometry sense, like we all have different incarnations and multidimensional codes, light codes and DNA codes that are just meant for us and our understanding and our lessons to be learned. So yes, you can go to a psychic, you can go to an energy healer, you can go to a teacher, but it's not like a WinRAR file. Like you don't get it and you're just like, oh, I know exactly what to do. It's more like, I mean, that's the power of time too. It's like there is the essence of time to kind of crystallize the WinRAR files of connectivity. WinRAR is basically like a file to that combines a bunch of other files, so you kind of save action speed with just having all these files organized in one thing. So you can think of that as like an oversoul connection, where it's like you're going to give that direction to yourself. Now, what's relevant is how you're living now, like yourself now in this body and this mind body is very complex. Sure, you could have your spiritual guides, you could have parallel lives guiding you, but it's like a direction of like what is your true north in any given moment. And that's actually the very solid advice too. It's like, you, no matter, even if YouTube's off or something, or your family's not there, or you're in the airport or something, it's like you can, there's always a pattern, a signal, and following that signal, your guidance system, to the best ability, you will learn. It's like a constant quest of learning and playing and being fruitful in your life, in your connection, in your satisfaction. So yeah, that's a refinement process. And yeah, looking at exercises, maybe that has worked before, maybe that has changed up a bit, maybe it's a new exercise, whether it's like, let's just say something physical like running or shooting a basketball, or like boxing, playing with a stick or sword, or doing sit-ups. It doesn't have to be that direct of an exercise, but see how these things change during time, during stages of your life, and like what is actually relevant. Is a relationship relevant? Are your kids relevant? Your grandkids? Are your is your job, your career relevant at this point? Is your lover, your soulmate, your connection to God, spirituality, is truth most relevant? And usually it's like a couple things that get like really highlighted into the field, into the awareness, and it's like we want to kind of see that exploration until it gets like a no, until there's like an exhaustion to it, so that there's another aspect of life that will help us, whether it's like different, kind of like rounding us off. Like think of yourself as like a character in a video game. It's like it wouldn't make sense to just have certain attributes like super high at like I don't know height or smells or something, or math skills or jumping ability, etc. It's like there is well matched things for your character. I mean, that's how I see it. It's like there's a lot of things like I realize it's like why don't I have that interest, or why do I go in this direction in certain aspects of life? Like even though it's a certain environment or a certain age group. But yeah, it's like the answers are always there. It's a matter of listening, and sometimes it's not in English. Sometimes not your native language, right? So sometimes it's a owl making noises at you, or you hear a dream connecting into read this book or talk to this person or be quiet for a few days or go to this place, go to this city. And that is also beautiful. Like, I don't know how this happened, but again, like seen alignment. So I found a place in Culver City, or it's really like Mars Vista. So that's in California. It's like it's an area where I could do like past life connections, hold groups, hold group sessions, and yeah, there's excitement. Like it kind of worked out that way. It's like I could do this once a week, Sundays or Mondays, and there's a bar that's right next to it, and a salon and some like a laundromat or street down and some other stores. But it's an interesting environment. It's like it's somewhat familiar, but also somewhat comfortable enough so that I could do these readings. I could bring a keyboard or something, or bring my computer, bring some music, create the environment, create the essence there. And I have a pretty good relationship with the guy that owns it, and we both want each other to do our best to succeed, or to work on our energy for that vortex point. And yeah, I consider those things more synchronicities and magic, because maybe like 5 or 10 years ago I did like some workshops there, and went to a polarity therapy class for a massage school. And yeah, there's still some pushes and pulls of that specific city in LA, of Culver City and whatnot. Yeah, there's a lot of good things, like a lot of good beaches and city life there. But these things just happen, right? Like I couldn't really expect that this year, that the specific details, but it was like a sign or symbol that I was looking to kind of connect on that environment, that wavelength. So yeah, again, like some of you could be in a completely different career now, or you could be married and having kids now, or uh, learning something completely new. And it is a testament to our soul growth, the ebbs and flows of life, and ebbs and flows of uncertainty. The only certainty really is the change and the growth that we all have. The points of remembering our parallel lives isn't necessarily to boast or to have pride in it, because we all have probably some extravagant lives, right? So it's really just the integration of it. It's like, what is it? How's it going to be used for service to you all? The goodness of your heart, goodness of the soul. the greatest good of all as a prayer we've kind of been taught in Mount Shasta or schools of like metaphysics, like having the intention of the greatest good of all, whatever that is. Maybe the conscious being, the user, doesn't know, so we give it to the power of God. And yeah, and I don't believe like archangels or ascended masters want us to like just give the power away to someone or ascended masters or angels. Like we still, as a being, whatever this being is in dimension, our character on Earth at this time has great value, has great ascension value, has great enlightenment, empowerment value, spiritual value, essence value, whatever word you want to put in it. Like there is a worthiness and connection to it. It isn't just about emotions or descriptions or being as happy and smiley and over the top as possible. Sure, there's like characters like that, right? But it really is intimate. It just feels a lot more intimate. I guess that's kind of a newsflash, right? More intimate with your own soul, your own experience with yourself, with others, with nature, with the cosmos, with yourself. And yeah, even saying the word self, like capital S, smaller s, it's like there's a there's a wisdom with just being alive. And when that like mental activity is like falling away, it's a nice connection to something that's trying to hide or something. So the energy of it, once it's revealed, once it's seen, it's like the more you kind of just desire it less and more kind of go into a connection, a quietness, a flow of what truly works for our experience. So yeah, I think that's a big gift of just exploration and focus. So your divine mission here is to be yourself, to accept yourself, to be worthy, to know you're worthy, or to realize more and more the worthiness of yourself and our soul, and that we're divinely connected and interconnected, and really doing this simultaneously. It could feel like you're doing your own transmutation work, or your own career, or your own family, but like all those experiences are connected in the field's awareness. It's like it's all the data of the internet recorded simultaneously. So it's like the sense of, if you have three houses versus you're just living in a car or something, you're living on the street. It's like there's still emotion and description of those three little points of description. So looking at emotion as description or feeling into those emotions so that the description changes, perception of it changes. And yeah, it's like we're being good hosts, we're being good guests, we're being good caregivers to past, present, future of consciousness, of human experience, of cosmic experience, of experience in general. And it is a pretty exciting time to be alive. Certain little, I would guess, like subscriptions or products that come online, and it's like, oh, I was never aware of that. Now I am, and now it's like there's another flavor and exploration of that. Whether it's like visible wireless or mint wireless, or certain iPads or MacBooks or musical instruments, apps, friends. Yeah, it's it's all there. It's like, and again, it's like the the saying, it'll be ready when you're ready. Whether the teacher is ready when the student's ready, the student's ready when the teacher's ready. It's like one in the same, these platitudes, but it really is always in you. It's all the joy, all the satisfaction, all the worthiness, all the acceptance, all the energy, all the power is always in you. And it's not a forcing of this inner work or shadow work or light work, but the intention of you growing, growing up as a consciousness, as a shared consciousness, me and you growing up, us growing up, pronouns growing up, whatever it is. Spirals of expression, spirals of revealment, spirals of deservingness, willingness, and there's always more of this essence that we are and share, more life. and connecting. And if you're kind of avoiding death or those beliefs on deaths, looking into that too, looking at emotions, I think parallel lives does help with that energy of looking in the beliefs of lack and wrongdoing or pride or guilt, shame, and these like negative vibrations and frequencies releasing. So yeah, to clarify, not to look at everything because that's just a lot of attention, right, and a lot of points, but looking at what's relevant at this point right now in Earth in 2025 as I speak this out loud, and it's connected at the right time, right space, right receiving, right modes, and allowing to receive, allowing to receive. And with that allowance of receiving, then we can give simultaneously. And the ego loves to downplay it or make it bigger than it is or whatever it is, but it's all good. It's like ebbs and flows of connection, ebbs and flows of voice, ebbs and flows of sounds of this one song that we share. Let's keep on swimming. You know. There's Lilo and Stitch, I think, and How to Train Your Dragon, which is not animated anymore. They made like a live action. So yeah, there's just different parallel realities and versions of certain great ideas of things kind of nailed into your psyche, into your consciousness. And the energy codes can be found in those movies, in the story, in these conversations. Cool. Well, I think that's it for me. Yahweh. Giving glory to whatever created us, that same creator, prime creator. Of that light, of that love, of all densities, expression for earth and beyond, or dome and beyond, half dome, full dome. Thank you for this, the great animals and the humans, the galactic species, the Federation, Galactic Federation, connection, Ascended Masters. Thank you, Ascended Masters, Guan Yin, Archangel Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, Uriel, our all of our names, all of our vibrations, all of our letters and words, and our soul growth as one consciousness. So yeah, hope to connect with you again, see how the lives go in the next time. And yeah, if you're in Culver City or Mars Vista, Sunday, Monday, we're going to do some readings and energy work there. And yeah, if you're on vacation, I think if you're on vacation, it's just enjoy your time, enjoy your festivities with your whoever, your loved ones, with yourself, with nature, with your travels, with your backpacks, with your meditations. Lots of love.